Nigerians. My name is Mrs. Rose Idibia. This message is for Miss Natasha Oosawaru of Edo State. I'm calling on all mothers in Nigeria to help me beg her to release or to free my son. My son is going through a divorce process and he's clearly not in his right senses now. I know my son. This is not him. Please, Natasha, the bead you put on his hand and on his neck, remove them and free him. Please, Natasha, the bead you put on his hand and on his neck, remove them and free him. Please, Natasha, the bead you put on his hand and on his neck, remove them and free him. Please, Natasha, the bead you put on his hand and on his neck, remove them and free him.
Wahala be like bicycle. Wahala be like bicycle. Ladies and gentlemen, the video you watched just now is that of Tuface's mother, Tuface Idibia. You know, the thing about your child, like how Yuledoche, brought his mom, like, to the public in a way that should not be. Like, you understand what I mean? And that thing about your child, I mean, they have clocked 40, going to 49 and like 50. You know, that moment, that time, you are expecting, your children to give you a kind of peace of mind. All of a sudden, Tuface is back to the same thing that Tuface used to be known for. Like, at the beginning of his life, it's always the same. It's like Tuface did not outgrow some of this thing. That's how it appears. But the man wants a peaceful life, kind of. Now, mommy is asking Natasha. Natasha is a 31-year-old Edo-lite, Edo State granddaughter to one of those prominent people in Edo State. So talk about connection, talk about money. She has it. I mean, as a politician, she must have taken some kind of constituency allowance to smoothing her skin too. The point is this. Let us be sincere. Tuface is done with Annie. Tuface is Tuface, meaning the same like before. Tuface goes after women that can soften his own life too, regardless of how much he has. He believes that God created him for women to soften his life also. He also will soften some part of some women's life, but women will dot on him and give him some goodies. Now, mommy is saying that they should help her beg Natasha. I understand that part of it. I know that some men can be held bound, like what we thought happened to you, Leduce. But, mommy, I'm not getting it right. Are you saying Natasha used Juju? Because mommy is referring to some bead on the wrist and on the neck of Tuface, and that this is what has been used to tie Tuface's mind. Well, I'm glad that she referred to the part of divorce, meaning that part of it is cleared, that there is a divorce, like both of them are no longer together, and Tuface is not thinking right that he should first wait and sort out his divorce before attaching himself to a woman. Maybe mommy is talking about the technicalities. I don't know the kind of marriage that Tuface, if it's the statutory or the customary, I don't know which of them. But as it is, I believe Tuface has his lawyers and he knows what he should be doing. But maybe mommy is just trying to say this because of the hula balo. People want to know, how come mommy is not saying nothing? What's happening? Mommy, come out and speak. But now that mommy is making it a public thing, like Natasha, remove the chain on my son's hands and neck. Wow. This one now, wahalo. Like, I don't really get it. This is going to be a big, huge problem. So it means that Natasha's family too are not happy with Natasha's decision. Like, Natasha, how many times? You're 31-year-old. Are you saying with your position, prominence in our society, are you saying you could not find someone neutral without drama? If there is going to be drama, at least let it not be now. Let it be later as you guys like age, like fine wine. Not now. What's happening? Natasha. Some people are even looking at the age difference, which I do not see any problems with anyway. But what is this thing? Like, Natasha, is it that you could not get someone apart from Tuface? But the thing is that Natasha and Tuface have the same soul and spirit. What do I mean? Look at their behavior. Natasha and Tuface, they connect together in this kind of soliloquizing, Rastafarian, high on some, that kind of thing. Like, both of them are... You need to watch their video when he proposed. Natasha was like moving like a snake. Tuface was also moving like a snake. Both of them were moving like snakes, like they were waving, like they are high on something. But this is how both of them are. This is how both of them are. And Natasha, you've watched that video. It's not like she has multiple personality. Let me put it that way. I mean, she can express and display. I think she's a born actress. Natasha is a born actress. It's like Tuface gets attracted to certain women. I don't know. If you look at Annie is always kind of like tied or knotted up, if you know what I mean. Annie is never loose. Even when she speaks in a kind of strained voice, like... So, I don't really know what's happening in that place. But with this lady, Natasha, I think we still need to see more of what Natasha is all about. But as it is, there is a baby. From what Tuface indicated, the way he did, it seems there is a baby on the way. So why is mommy coming out? Why didn't mommy speak? Or mommy spoke to Tuface? I don't get it. This thing about mommy's way. I don't get this mommy's way. I don't get it, because Annie is also accusing mommy that when Tuface's baby mama at the onset came because she's rich, mommy embraced her. That mommy embraced her. That is I think her name is Sumbo, or what's her name? That mommy embraced her against her own poverty, her own trenches life. That mommy embraced her, she got upset, and she became more upset and continued to be upset with the family. So when Tuface decided to marry her, maybe mommy was against it, or mommy didn't really care anymore. I don't know. Tuface said, okay, this is what I want. Now, Tuface is a 49-year-old man. Daddy and mommy, parents in general, can only suggest and advise. They can't command or control him. The same thing with the other 31-year-old. They can only suggest and advise. But why is mommy coming out talking about chain on the hand and neck? Tuface has history. Which one is chain and neck? Tuface has history. Maybe you might be like, oh, a boy is married. Marriage is just change of name. People unmarry and remarry. So I don't understand this part of neck and chain and neck. Or did mommy go and confirm and finally realize that there is a neck chain and leg chain, and maybe there is a bottle like that of Yule Duce or something? Like, oh, you have chained my son. You have chained a 31-year-old politician, educated in Nigeria and the US, from a very rich family, politically connected family, rich family. Tie your son, Tuface, that has no heat anymore and is not really with cash like that anymore. Like, tie your son for what? Like, I don't really understand. What is your son is Tuface of those days. Your son is not, your son is okay because he has done his own bit. They call him veteran in a way, but your son is where? Tie your son to take baby out of your son because Idibia is now going to add to the surname of this lady that already has a name and a foundation, and it is your son that needs something. Of course, it's not like he doesn't have his own star and destiny too, but right now your son is not shining. So I don't think I thought she was going to say leave my son so that my son can go back to Annie. They would have said, okay, maybe they are trying to mend, like a mediation or something. But she has concluded that there is a divorce, meaning they are done and dusted. So which one is you leave your son? that your son is not in the right mind or right state of mind after your son have gone to pregnant the girl. And it's not like it's something that is just starting now. Tuface has always been pregnanting women like that. So what are we saying? Mommy, you need to say more. We don't get you.